Start recording. Chapter 2. Section E. Lecture on the Haben, Expedient Means Chapter. Niji se sun ju san mayan jo niki go shari hatsu sho bu chie jin jin moryo go chie mon nange nan uisai sho mon hyaku shi butsu sho fu no chi. This first passage of the Expedient Means chapter means, at this time of the latter day of the law, the true Buddha, eternal Buddha, who had been in the universe, emerged in Japan as Nichiren Dai Shonin and addressed the people of the latter day of the law. The wisdom of Nam Myoho Renge Kyo covers eternity and the entire universe, and therefore is infinitely profound and immeasurable. The law of Nam Myoho Renge Kyo is difficult to comprehend and its gateways difficult to enter. No scholar or artist, egoistic by nature, is able to fathom the depths of this wisdom. Niji means the time of the Mappo, the latter day of the law, the period following 2000 years after the death of Shakyamuni Buddha, and Sessen, Nichiren Dai Shonin, the true Buddha, eternal Buddha, of the latter day of the law, the eternal true Buddha, or the life of Nam Myoho Renge Kyo in the universe, appeared in this world in Japan as Nichiren Dai Shonin. He then addressed Shari Hatsu, representing people in the latter day of the law. The law of Nam Myoho Renge Kyo is infinitely profound and immeasurable. Sho but chie jin jin mu ryo. All the Buddhas attained enlightenment through the practice of Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Therefore, their wisdom which enabled them to attain enlightenment is Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, another name for the life of Nichiren Dai Shonin. It is obvious then that Nichiren Dai Shonin is the true Buddha, eternal Buddha, who awakened all other Buddhas to the law of Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, although Shakyamuni was the first Buddha in recorded history. For this reason, the Dai Shonin added, their Buddha's wisdom is difficult to comprehend and its gateways difficult to enter. Go chie mon nan ge nan yu. According to the Buddhist principle exchanging faith into wisdom, their wisdom means their faith in Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, or the Gohonzon, the object of devotion, established by the Dai Shonin for the salvation of all people. Thus we can obtain the infinite wisdom from the mystic law, by believing and having faith in the Gohonzon. However, the teaching of Nam Myoho Renge Kyo is difficult to comprehend and its gateways difficult to enter, and it is not easy task to make other people understand this teaching or be converted through shakubuku. The so-called intelligents who are described in the Expedient Means chapter as Isai Shomen Hyaku Shi Butsu cannot understand the Gohonzon because they persistently hold to their own views of the world and never seek to know what they do not. They are selfishly blind to the unhappiness of other people because they are only satisfied with their own studies. Such people are called Nijo, literally, the two vehicles or people belonging to the worlds of learning and realization of the 10 worlds, Jikai. As this is the first part of the Expedient Means chapter, further explanation is given below. Niji is a Buddhist term meaning time. It is the time when a Buddha, realizing that people are seeking Buddhism in their hearts, makes his advent for them. Then the Buddha expounds his law. In Buddhism, time is classified into 3, Shoho, former day of the law, Zoho, middle day of the law, and Mappo, the latter day of the law. Shoho is the first millennium after the death of Shakyamuni Buddha, the first Buddha in recorded history, and Zoho the second millennium. And Mappo, as explained earlier, is the time which comes after those 2000 years and lasts eternally. The Buddhism of Shakyamuni benefited the people during the 2000 years of the former, and Zoho, middle day of the law, but in the Mappo, the latter day of the law, it is no longer has the power of salvation. One of the most frequently used words, Mappo, the latter day of the law, literally means when the law of Shakyamuni Buddha perishes. Therefore, the advent of a new Buddha is needed in the time of Mappo. In order to meet the needs of the people, Nichiren Dai Shonin appeared in this world to save, with his limitless compassion, the unhappy from their worries and troubles. For this purpose, the Dai Shonin established the Dai Gohonzon, the original object of worship, on October 12, 1279. Sesen literally means the Buddha. Buddha, to the Western mind, means Shakyamuni Gautama, Buddha of India. However, as the sutra mentions, Shobutsu, all the Buddhas, there are numerous Buddhas in the universe. The Buddha who taught all other Buddhas the way to attain enlightenment is called the true Buddha, eternal Buddha, or Hunbutsu. He is Nichiren Dai Shonin. The life of Nichiren Dai Shonin or Nam Myoho Renge Kyo exists in the universe from the infinite past to the eternal future. Sun Mai, or Sun Mudhi, in Sanskrit, means to concentrate one's mind on one point and remeditate it on the philosophy of Buddhism. Nichiren Dai Shonin, who had been meditating on Nam Myoho Renge Kyo in the universe, made his advent in this world some 760 years ago. Sharihatsu, Shariputra in Sanskrit literally is the name for one of the 10 great disciples of Shakyamuni, who is known for his unparalleled wisdom. At the age of 8, he went to a festiva and saw a crowd of people gathered around a high seat set in the center of the ground. They put various questions to the man seated there. Then, Sharihatsu seated himself and promptly gave correct answers to all the questions people asked. However, even this wisest disciple could attain enlightenment not through his own wisdom, but through faith in the Buddha. The Expedient Means chapter was expounded to instruct all people in Mappo, the latter day of the law, on their way to enlightenment. Therefore, Shari-Hotsu in the sutra indicates the people of the latter day of the law. Most people do not have the excellent wisdom to understand Buddhism, but according to the Buddhist principle, exchanging faith into wisdom, they can attain enlightenment through the practice of devoting one's life to the Gohonzon through chanting Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, morning and evening, reciting Gongyo daily. Incidentally, there are 12 forms of preaching in Shakyamuni's teachings. Therefore, Shakyamuni's sutras are called Juni Bukyo, 12-part sutras. The form of expounding the Expedient Means chapter is that of teaching the law spontaneously without being asked to do so, Mu Man Jisutsu. No one asked the Buddha to teach the law, but the Buddha began to state, Go Chie Man Nan Ge Nan Yu. Therefore, the Expedient Means chapter begins with the sentence, in Mappo, the latter day of the law. Nichiren Dai Shonin arose from his deep meditation on the law of Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, and then addressed the people, saying, There are always 4 types of people when a Buddha expounds his law. 1. Questioners, Hakushu. Those who ask the Buddha questions, or beg him to teach the law, thus helping him expound his law. 2. Sympathizers, Tokushu. Those who understand and become convinced of the Buddha's teachings. 3. Listeners, Kechienshu. Those who listen to the teachings of the Buddha and later attain enlightenment. 4. Assistants, Yogoshu. Those who always follow the Buddha wherever he teaches the law and prove that his teachings are true. Shari-Hotsu and Bodhisattva Moroku, who asked Shakyamuni Buddha questions, are questioners, and Bodhisattva Manju and Kannon, who helped Shakyamuni teach the law, are assistants. Among these 4 types, questioners are most important. Believers who ask questions at discussion meetings or at a question and answer sessions are the questioners. Their questions can make the meetings successful or unsuccessful, impressive or tiresome. As mentioned earlier, the form of teaching the Expedient Means chapter is without Buddha being begged to do so. The Buddha began to speak spontaneously. This form is called in Japanese Muman Jisutsu. Now returning to the subject, the sutra reads, Shobu Chie Jin Jin Muryo. The wisdom of all the Buddhas is infinitely profound and immeasurable. Their wisdom is the law of Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, or the wisdom of Nichiren Dai Shonin. All the Buddhas attained enlightenment not through their own wisdom, but through the practice of Nam-myoho Renge Kyo, which only the true Buddha, eternal Buddha, knows. Even the wisdom of Shakyamuni Buddha is incomparably superficial, but he was able to have the wisdom of Nam-myoho Renge Kyo when he practiced the law of Nam-myoho Renge Kyo in the unimaginably distant past known as Goyaku Jintengo. Go Chie Ma Nan Ge Nan Yu. Their wisdom is difficult to comprehend and its gateways difficult to enter. Since Buddhist philosophy is profound, general explanations will not make a person understand what it really is. When one practices shaku-buku, some people say, "I will take the faith when I understand it," without believing in it. They can only realize that it may be right or at least coherent. It is to comprehend the Buddhist philosophy that believers in true Buddhism are practicing it. Through the practice, believers can exchange their faith into wisdom and therefore, can realize enlightenment. Then the sutra reads, Isai sho mon hyaku shi busu sho fu no chie. No intelligent people can understand the depth of Buddhism. The world of learning, shomen, and realization, engaku, are called the two vehicles, nijo. Their selfish minds are disliked by people and are contemptuously called the disposition of nijo. The world of learning is indicative of those who overestimate themselves as being enlightened because they have realized that everything in this world is provisional. The world of realization is significant to those who boast of themselves, since they have realized the uncertainty of this world, after seeing the provisional phenomena. These two types of people are satisfied only if they themselves can escape from suffering in this world. In Shakyamuni's age, Shakyamuni declared that they never could attain enlightenment just as rivers never flow backward and a broken stone can never be mended. In this age, the two vehicles indicate the so-called intelligentsia such as scholars who take a preconceived view of Buddhism without seeking it earnestly. They hold their views of the world and never desire to seek a higher one. Those who do not believe in the Dai Shonin can never comprehend the supreme law of Nam-myoho Renge Kyo and its profound philosophy. The contemporary scholars who believe that science is almighty will never know it. Japan has been devoted to the development of science for the last 100 years since it was far behind Western nations in the progress of science. Thus people came to neglect the necessity of Buddhism, which is the essence of Oriental philosophy, being so impressed with the remarkable progress of science which appears to realize the long-cherished dream of man traveling to the moon. This is rather an international tendency today. Electricity is applied to every aspect of daily life. Television sets and washing machines have made home life comfortable and pleasant. Science surely makes home life cozy and convenient. It is said that the development of science corresponds with the increase of individual happiness, but in actuality this is not true. Even when new devices are produced, a person may feel unhappy if he cannot afford one, while his neighbors can. What is worse, as you well know, the invention of nuclear weapons is threatening the existence of mankind. We never deny the wonderful power of science, but we deny the idea that the development of science is proportional to the increase of individual unhappiness. Just think which is greater, the happiness of a farmer some 200 years ago, or that of a contemporary man. Happiness will be in our hands only when we realize the true philosophy of life. It is not until we devote our life to the Gohonzon that we can attain true happiness. Not knowing this, many people speak of science and learning as a means to happiness. However, they are what the Expedient Means chapter describes as Isai sho mon hyaku shi busu sho fu no chie. No intelligent people can understand the depths of Buddhism. Some people say they are too shy to chant Nam-myoho Renge Kyo. Indeed, I know a Japanese novelist who was converted to this teaching when his child was critically ill. Therefore, I instructed him to devote his life to practice to the Gohonzon with all his heart and soul. Then he secretly chanted Daimoku to the Gohonzon, confining himself to a locked room. He is a novelist and belongs to the two vehicles. He could not comprehend what Nam-myoho Renge Kyo is. Thus, those who play with theory can hardly know it. Shoi sha ga, butsuzo shingon yaku sen ma noku mushu sho, butsu jin gyo sho, butsu muryo doho, yumio sho jin, mio sho fumon, joju jin jin mizo ho, zui ge sho setsu, ishu nun ge. Even intelligent people can hardly learn the law of Nam-myoho Renge Kyo by themselves. So states the final sentence of the foregoing passage. Its reason is explained in the above quotation, which means, the reason is that the Buddha of Nam-myoho Renge Kyo Gohonzon is the source of all the Buddhas whose number, according to the sutra, is Yakusen Man Noku Mushu, which means 100 times by 1,000 times by 10,000 times by 100,000 times by infinity. Therefore, people in the latter day of the law, only by chanting Nam-myoho Renge Kyo to the Gohonzon, can obtain even greater blessings than can those who have practiced an immeasurably large number of teachings under as many Buddhas. Believers in the Gohonzon are bodhisattvas of the earth, who devote themselves to the noble and untiring practice of chanting Daimoku and are acclaimed throughout the universe. The Gohonzon comprising the law, Nam-myoho Renge Kyo, and the person, Nichiren Dai Shonin, is the profound and unprecedented law which solves all kinds of worry for the people of the latter day of the law. The wisdom of the Gohonzon is difficult to comprehend. Therefore, no intelligent person can comprehend the law of Nam-myoho Renge Kyo without practicing it. However, we, believers in the Gohonzon, can attain enlightenment by chanting Daimoku to the Gohonzon. Therefore, chanting Daimoku is equal to practicing an immeasurable number of austerities, Muryo Duho. To embrace the Gohonzon and chant Daimoku is the noble and untiring practice, Yumio Shojin. It is known to all the Buddhist deities in the universe. Mio Sho Fumon, that we embrace the Gohonzon and chant Daimoku. Thus can realize the profound and unprecedented law, Mizo Uho, or in other words, the Gohonzon. The Gohonzon is the entity of the true Buddha, eternal Buddha. It is difficult for us to comprehend and understand that the Gohonzon teaches us to solve our worries and troubles. Zui Ji Sho Setsu, Ii Hunan Ge. The most remarkable difference between the Buddhism of Nichiren Dai Shonin and that of Shakyamuni is the term of attaining enlightenment. In Shakyamuni's Buddhism, people had to practice Buddhism and follow innumerable Buddhas for 100,000 myriads of kotas of eons. However, believers in Nichiren Shoshu Buddhism can attain enlightenment in their own lifetimes. Thus the superiority of the true Buddhism over Shakyamuni's Buddhism is as clear as day. Yumio Shojin, which is often mentioned in Buddhism, literally means noble and untiring practice. It is only the true Nichiren Shoshu believers who embrace the Gohonzon and devote themselves to chanting the Daimoku. That we embrace the Gohonzon is widely known to all bodhisattvas and Buddhist deities in the universe. This is what the sutra defines as Mio Sho Fumon. Those who devote their lives to chant to the Gohonzon and are devoted to the practice of true Buddhism are the bodhisattvas of the earth. Thus they are acclaimed throughout the world of their noble and untiring practice. This is why we can receive the protection of many bodhisattvas and Buddhist deities in our daily lives. The Buddha acquire this profound and unprecedented law. From the viewpoint of believers, it means that one has established the Gohonzon in his or her mind. In other words, he was able to derive the life of Nam-myoho Renge Kyo from within his or her life. The Gohonzon we devote our life to, is the entity of the law of Nam-myoho Renge Kyo, and the person, is Nichiren Dai Shonin. This is known in Buddhism as Ninpo Ikka, oneness of the law and the person. The explanation of oneness of the law and the person Ninpo Ikka as follows. Shakyamuni Buddha is not the entity of Nam Myoho Renge Kyo but rather one who attained enlightenment by practicing the law of Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. It was in the time of Goyaku Jintango, or the immemorial past, which is revealed in the Juryo lifespan chapter. However, Nichiren Dai Shonin is identified as Nam Myoho Renge Kyo itself, and therefore is true Buddha, eternal Buddha, who leads all other Buddhas to enlightenment. Hence we call Nichiren Dai Shonin the true Buddha, eternal Buddha, and Shakyamuni and other Buddhas simply the Buddha. As you know, the Dai Gohonzon, which is the embodiment of the life of the true Buddha, is the entity of the law of Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, and the person is Nichiren Dai Shonin. A passage from a reply to Kyo Dono reads, I, Nichiren, therefore, have inscribed my life in Sumi ink, so that you may believe with your whole heart. Oneness of the law and the person Ninpo Ikka is a principle important to our daily lives. For example, a student of medicine will not become a lawyer because of his lack of knowledge of law. However, a law student in college is likely to qualify as a lawyer. The two students are the persons and their fields of study. Medical science and law are the laws. The law should fit the person. The former is not Ninpo Ikka but the latter is. The Dai Shonin revealed the law of Nam Myoho Renge Kyo according to the sufferings of the believers. Such a profound consideration of the true Buddha, eternal Buddha, is beyond our understanding. Some people complain, nothing goes well, although I am devoting practice to the Gohonzon earnestly. Others grumble, my business never prospers while I am devoted to this faith. I will change my business. However, in actuality, when they stop complaining and practicing the true Buddhism in earnest, they will come to say, I should have prayed to the Gohonzon more earnestly. The first lay believer's chairman, Tsunezaburo Makiguchi, often said, a fool thinks opportunities slip through his fingers. Therefore, don't complain but chant to the Gohonzon devotedly. You cannot understand the intention of the Buddha. The Buddha foresees everything while we are blind to the future. We cannot foresee but can only reflect. It is difficult to comprehend the wisdom of the Gohonzon. All we have to do is to believe in the Gohonzon, then we will have great blessings. If we doubt the Gohonzon, we cannot receive any blessings. In Buddhism, Buddha in the position of Myoji Soku, the position of a person who received the Gohonzon faithfully, means the person who knows that every phenomenon is the function of Buddhism. You should do your best in your faith and work in the belief that everything is based on Buddhism. There is the Buddhist principle of Juji Soku Kanjin, which means that to embrace the Gohonzon leads to enlightenment. Chanting Daimoku to the Gohonzon will ensure you far greater blessings than those of Shakyamuni Buddha provided for his disciples. Nichiren Dai Shonin cited a passage from the Muryogi Kyo, Infinite Meanings chapter in his Kanjin no Honzon Sho, the supreme object of devotion in the latter day of the law, to expound the benefits of the Gohonzon. It reads, although you have not yet practiced the 6 paramitas, 6 types of austerities to enter into nirvana, you will have the same blessings as you have done so if only you chant the Daimoku to the Gohonzon. Thus, those who chant the Daimoku to the Gohonzon of Nam Myoho Renge Kyo can enjoy absolute happiness without practicing any austerities, such as the 6 paramitas of 1. Offering alms. 2. Keeping the precepts. 3. Practicing endurance. 4. Self-purification. 5. Meditation. 6. Wisdom. How can we attain enlightenment in our single Juryo lifespan when Shakyamuni's Buddhism it requires millions of years of austerities? In the Devadatta chapter of the Lotus Sutra there is a story of a hermit named Ashi Senin, whom Shakyamuni served for 1,000 years, massaging his legs and gathering kindling wood to attain enlightenment. Nichiren Daishonin repudiates such austerities which are impractical today in the latter day of the law and expounded the new way to enlightenment. This is to face the Gohonzon and chant the invocation of Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. A passage from the Kanjin no Hanzen Sho reads, "The two laws of cause and effect, making the practice of religious austerity the cause, praiseworthy, results will be acquired, taught by Shakyamuni, rest in the 5 characters of Myoho Renge Kyo, which are indicative of the Gohonzon. If we have faith in these 5 characters, we shall be granted the 2 laws. Sheri Hatsu go Jujo Butsu Irai, Shuju in Nen Shuju Hiyu, Koen Gon Kyo Mushu Indo Shujo Ryori Sho Yaku." This quotation means, addressing the people of the latter day of the law, Nichiren Daishonin states that, from Kuon Ganjo, he has been expounding the teaching of Nam Myoho Renge Kyo with various dependent causations and many parables and thus has spread the Gohonzon. He has led all mankind with innumerable kinds of blessings and retribution as the methods of teaching them to make clear of their attachment to the affairs of the world. Nichiren Daishonin addressed Sheri Hatsu, the latter day of the law, since the time called Kuon Ganjo, or from the infinite past, the true Buddha has expounded various relations with his disciples, Shuju In Nen, and many parables, Shuju Hiyu. Our relationship with the Daishonin dates back to Kuon Ganjo when we were his disciples. In the latter day of the law, we bodhisattvas of the earth appeared in this world to help unhappy people. Born as the poor and unhappy in this chaotic world, we prove to other people the power of the Gohonzon by attaining absolute happiness. Any trouble will disappear when you call to your mind that you pledged to the Daishonin in Kuon Ganjo to help the troubled people and pacify the war-stricken world, by propagating the law of Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. One of the parables, Hiyu, is that faithful believers in Nichiren Daishonin's days propagated the true Buddhism even at the risk of their lives and enjoyed the immeasurable blessings of the Gohonzon. The means of guidance in the latter day of the law is blessing and retribution. This is the expedient means in the latter day of the law. With this expedient means, the Gohonzon leads us to enlightenment. Although the Gohonzon does not speak, the Gohonzon favors us with great benefits when we practice true Buddhism correctly, and receive retribution when we stray from the true path of life. Benefit and retribution are, in other words, gain and loss in daily life. Shakyamuni Buddha taught that one is unhappy because he is attached to something. Without such attachments, he said, one can become happy. However, in actuality, no one can live without being attached to life. If everyone lost attachment to everything, there would be no education, no culture and no economy in our society. It is evident then, that Shakyamuni's Buddhism falls within something like idealism. It is devoid of the absolute power of changing human life. On the contrary, Nichiren Daishonin expounded that one should make it clear whether or not he should be attached to something. If one absorbs himself in gambling, he or she will lose all his property and make his family extremely miserable. Thus he should stop it. However, if he loves to work, he will be all right. Practicing true Buddhism inspires believers with the reason to form a correct judgment with vital life force, to control our lesser selves. Let us be attached to ours, and do shakubuku. Then we will become truly happy. As for relations and parables, there are 3 groups of shomen, men of learning among the 10 worlds in the Buddhism of Shakyamuni. In the first half of the Lotus Sutra, which is known as Shakuman, Shakyamuni defined the objective of life as nothing but attaining enlightenment, although in the pre-Lotus Sutra teachings, he revealed 3 objectives according to the inborn capacity of people. They were shomen, men of learning Engaku, men of realization and Bosatsu, bodhisattva. Here, Shakyamuni's disciples who had been shomen, attained enlightenment through his various teachings. The first group of shomen realized the essence of Buddhism by understanding the theory of the expedient means chapter. It is known as Hosetsu Shu, those who understood Buddhism through theory. The second group of shomen is the Hyushu who attained enlightenment hearing various parables of the wealthy man's son and of the burning house. The third group of shomen could reach enlightenment when Shakyamuni expounded the relationship with his disciples in some past existence. They are known as In-nen Sho. Since the question of attachment clarifies the difference between the Buddhism of Nichiren Dai Shonin and that of Shakyamuni Buddha, it should be further explained. Shakyamuni said that he guided the people through numerous means, to enable them to cast off their attachment to the affairs of the world. However, Nichiren Dai Shonin stated in his Ongi Kuden that, to cast off their attachment, should be changed into, to make clear their attachment. It is, in reality, impossible to cast off one's attachment to the affairs of the world. According to Nichiren Dai Shonin, one should never be swayed by his attachment to mundane affairs or his earthly desires. For example, some people smoke more than 50 cigarettes a day and feel uncomfortable. Yet, they cannot control their desire for smoking. They should smoke only the proper number of cigarettes to refresh themselves. This is what the Dai Shonin meant by, make clear, our attachment. All you have to do is to form as a calm judgment on whether or not you should cease your attachment to something. Or you should have a good reason to say that you have a strong attachment to this thing or that. It is the teaching of Shakyamuni's Buddhism to let everyone cast off their attachment to anything. There is no such precept in the period of the latter day of the law. It may have been necessary in ancient India where there prevailed an inferior thought. Today in the latter day of the law, however, such a teaching is useless. Therefore, it is urgently necessary to distinguish the Dai Shonin's Buddhism from Shakyamuni's. Ongi Kuden, the record of Nichiren Dai Shonin's oral teachings, written by Nikko Shonin, the rightful successor to the Dai Shonin. Shoi sha ga, neo rai chicken hara mitsu kai gu soku. This passage means that this is because the Buddha holds the highest perfection of the means to redeem mankind and the greatest insight into mundane matters. It is only Nichiren Dai Shonin who has such a great power. In his Kanjin no Hanzen Sho writings on the supreme object of worship, the Dai Shonin expounded that only by chanting the Daimoku can one enjoy the benefits which all the Buddhas including Shakyamuni acquired after practicing hard various Buddhist austerities. The Dai Gohanzen can bestow upon as the cause of attaining enlightenment, the practice of numerous austerities, and its meritorious result, innumerable blessings. Therefore, another name for the Dai Gohanzen is the cluster of great blessings. Since the Dai Gohanzen is the cluster of blessings, the Dai Gohanzen has the power to produce the cause of absolute happiness experienced by all the Buddhas and the merits resulting from the cause. This is why one can cure illness given up by physicians as incurable by heartily. Sheri Hatsu Neo Rai Chicken Ko Dai Jin Nan Murio Muge Riki Mu Shoi Zen Jo Ge Das San Mai, Jin Nu Musai, Joju Isai Maizu Ho. This passage means, the Dai Shonin states, people of Mappo, the latter day of the law, the perfection of the true Buddha, eternal Buddha, is infinite and eternal. Endowed with vast mentality, limitless wisdom and power, fearless, contemplative and unrestrained in mind, he is free for profound meditation. He has reached into eternity, realized the unprecedented law. Nichiren Dai Shonin told the people in Mappo, the latter day of the law, Shari Hotsu, that his perception, chicken, is infinite Kodai and eternal Jinin. Indeed, the Dai Shonin's power is incomparably greater than Shakyamuni's. We, the true Nichiren Shoshu believers, have received the Gohanzen without making an effort ourselves. Just as the sutra put it, we have obtained the teachings with something mysterious or had nothing to do with us. By having devotion to the Gohonzon which we received without any difficulty, we can enjoy all the blessings which all the Buddhas obtained through numerous austerities. We devote in practice to the Gohonzon during the morning and evening Gongyo, reciting the sutra and chanting as many Daimoku as possible. On the left side of the Gohonzon is written, "Fortune exceeds that of the provisional Buddha Sakyamuni." Through belief in the Gohonzon, we can obtain blessing even greater than that which Shakyamuni Buddha acquired after his unimaginably long practice over many existences. This evidently shows the vast difference between the power of the Gohonzon and that of Shakyamuni. Therefore, we can attain Mario Muge Riki Musho e Zenjo Ge Das San Mai, through the practice of the true Buddhism. Each of these terms will be explained below to display the superiority of the true Buddhism. Mario, vast mentality, is classified into 4 parts. 1. The immeasurable power to make all people happy. 2. The immeasurable power to rid people of their suffering. 3. The immeasurable power to delight others. 4. The immeasurable power to be impartial to anyone. Muge, limitless wisdom, it also classified into 4. The Buddha has the limitless wisdom to 1. To make all people understand his teaching. 2. To master all the doctrines. 3. To express anything with the most proper words. 4. To feel the delight of expounding his teaching. Riki power is divided into 10. 1. The power to tell the reasonable law of cause and effect from an unreasonable one neglecting the causal law. 2. The power to know the causal relationships ranging over the 3 existences of life past, present and future. 3. The power to keep himself in the state of enlightenment. 4. The power to realize the various functions of mind. 5. The power to know the intellect of people. 6. The power to know the living conditions of people. 7. The power to foresee the future of people. 8. The power to know the causal relationships of people. 9. The power to realize the life of the past existence and the way to enlightenment. 10. The power to obliterate past karma. Mu Shou Yi. Which means that the Buddha is fearless will be understood from 4 viewpoints. 1. The Buddha is fearless because he knows all phenomena in the universe and has unyielding conviction. 2. The Buddha is fearless because he is free from all earthly troubles. 3. The Buddha is fearless and teaches us of the various obstacles living ahead of us. 4. The Buddha is fearless and expounds the way of ending numerous sufferings. Zenjo means to fix one's mind on one point, Ge Das means to attain enlightenment, and Sanmai means to remain in the supreme state of life. All the Buddhas have all these merits, but even greater blessings will be bestowed upon us through faith in the Gohonzon. Sheri Hatsu Neo Rai no Shuju Fun Betsu Gyo Sei Shoho, Ganji nu Nane Ka Shu Shin. The quotation means, people of Mappo, the latter day of the law, the true Buddha has the power to define the various laws, teach them in a skillful way and gladden the hearts of all with compassionate words. Nichiren Dai Shonin told people in the latter day of the law, Shari Hotsu, how he was able to give them immeasurable delight, as the sutra reads. Eka, Shushin. Which means, gladden the hearts of all. Nichiren Dai Shonin assumed a very strict in redeeming people from unhappiness. If did not expound the true Buddhism simply, people disliked to hear it, he could not have delivered a single person from suffering. Likewise, in the practice of shakubuku, if we hesitate to introduce other people to this teaching and practice, we cannot make them happy. They may at first be critical of Nichiren Dai Shonin's Buddhism because they don't know the real aspect of the true Buddhism. However, when their reason functions, they can understand the reasonable teaching of Nichiren Dai Shonin and will take faith in the true teaching. Then they will enjoy the unexpectedly great blessings through the practice of Buddhism. This is how the true Buddha gladdens the hearts of all. All of you, believers in the true Nichiren Shoshu teaching, may have not taken faith as soon as you heard of this teaching. Some of you may have said, "It is for Orientals." Others may have said, "I have no time to practice." Still others may have insisted, "I cannot discard the teaching handed down from my ancestors." However, when you have taken faith, you found the Dai Shonen's Buddhism to be wonderful. The more you practice, the happier you become. In the end, Eka, Shushin, gladdens the hearts of all. Is true, as one practices the true Buddhism of Nichiren Shoshu, he or she can change his or her destiny for the better and lead a happy life. Devote yourself to this faith. 10 years after you have taken faith, you will have changed. However, your nature will not change. If you are stingy, you will be stingy even if you take faith in this teaching. However, you'll be liked by others after conversion because you will come to know what you should be stingy about. This will be understood from the example of a river. Suppose there is a river filled with murky water. You cannot drink it. Even after 10 years, the river will not have changed in its course, but the water may have become clean. The change in believers brought about through faith in the Gohonzon becomes clean. It is a mistaken to say that, even if one have been in this faith for more than 10 years, your nose remain unchanged. It would not become better shaped. However, as the life of a believer is purified, his or her looks, behavior and manner of conversation becomes noble and attractive. This is the very blessing of the Gohonzon. If a girl works at a shop, she will have many customers who will prefer to buy there. If the believer is a man, people will say, "He may look like a gangster, but he is good-natured. I feel like buying at his shop." If he works with a company, he may be promoted or receive a higher salary. If he is single, he may will find an excellent bride. It is natural then the Gohonzon will gladden the hearts of all. Shari Hotsu Shu Yogan Shi Murio Muhen Mizou Ho Buz Shi Su Joju. To sum it up, the true Buddha in the latter day of the law, who is Nichiren Dai Shonin, established the Gohonzon which no other Buddha could. The Dai Shonin infinite, unbounded and unparalleled law. Murio Muhen Mizou Ho. Then. Shishari Hotsu Fu Shu Bu Setsu Sho I Sha Ga Bu Sho Jo Ju Dai Ichi Ke Yunan Ge Shi Ho Yui Butsu Yo Butsu Nai no Kujin Sho Ho Ji So. This passage means, that which the true Buddha, eternal Buddha, has achieved is the rarest and most difficult law to comprehend. The realities of universal phenomena can only be understood and shared between two Buddhas. That which has been achieved by provisional Buddhas such as Shakyamuni is superficial and far from the truth revealed by the eternal Buddha, depicted on the Gohonzon. The Gohonzon is the rarest and most difficult law to comprehend. Dai, Ichi, Ku, Nan Ge, Shi, Ho. Only Nichiren Dai Shonin knows it. However, as the sutra puts it, the realities of universal phenomena can only be understood and shared between two Buddhas. Nikko Shonin, successor to the Dai Shonin, knew the real aspect of the Gohonzon. Nichiren Dai Shonin was compassionate in expounding the realities of universal phenomena which he realized and revealed to all people in the latter day of the law in the form of the three great secret laws. San Dai Hiho. The realities which the Buddha has achieved are beyond the understanding of ordinary people. Even the wisest disciple of Sakyamuni, named Shari Hotsu, could not comprehend the law expounded by his teacher. The law of Shakyamuni is far more superficial than that of Nichiren Dai Shonin. However, Shari Hotsu, who was famous for his unparalleled wisdom, could not comprehend Shakyamuni's Buddhism. Thus, he pledged that he would believe in any teaching of the Buddha, even if he could not grasp its meaning. Then and only then, Shari Hotsu could attain enlightenment. This is known as the Buddhist principle of exchanging belief to wisdom. When we practice shakubuku, some people may say, I will take faith only if I can comprehend it. However, they cannot understand the profound doctrine of Buddhism without belief or faith. To have faith and believe is an essential factor of a teaching. It is not until one has taken faith in this true teaching that he or she can study the Buddhist doctrine with faith as the basis and follow it. The Expedient Means chapter defines the objective of life as attaining enlightenment. This is the With Our Shakubuku campaign. In practicing shakubuku, it is stressed that the objective of life consists in pursuing happiness. Some people believe that if they can become healthy, they will be happy. Others think that if they can obtain wealth, they will be happy. Still others are convinced that they will become happy if they win a doctorate or become a cabinet minister. They are all mistaken. We teach them that they can attain absolute happiness only through belief in the Gohonzon. This is the true objective of life. Shoi Shoho, Nioze So, Nioze Sho, Nioze Tai, Nioze Riki, Nioze Sa, Nioze In, Nioze En, Nioze Ka, Nioze Ho, Nioze Hanmak Kukyo To. The passage means, these realities are the aspect, the nature, the entity, the power, the action, the cause, the relationship, the effect, the reward and the consistency from beginning to end. If you do understand the reason for which the Lotus Sutra was expounded, you cannot read it correctly. The Lotus Sutra reveals the figure and power of the Gohonzon. It pictures the Gohonzon in mind so that it enables one to establish the Gohonzon in his or her life. This is the most important teaching of the Lotus Sutra. No one before Nichiren Daishonin inscribed the Gohonzon itself, however, yet, the 28th chapter Lotus Sutra is nothing but the explanation of the figure and power of the Gohonzon. The essential teaching of the Expedient Means chapter is Shoho Jisso, which literally means that all phenomena in the universe reveal the true aspect of life. Many sutras use the word Jisso, the true aspect, but it means different things according to the profundity of the sutra. Nichiren Daishonin defined Jisso as the Gohonzon. Tiantai the Great wrote, the profound meaning of Jisso is the eternal truth of Myoho Renge Kyo or the Gohonzon. In his writings entitled Shoho Jisso Sho, Nichiren Daishonin stated, Jisso is another word for Myoho Renge Kyo, the Gohonzon. Thus obviously from the viewpoint of the Daishonin's Buddhism, Jisso means the Gohonzon. The Gohonzon is the entity of the 10 aspects, Junyozei, and the mutual possession of the 10 worlds, Jikai Gogu, are all revealed in the Gohonzon that is eternal. A passage from the Lifespan chapter reads, yearning desire to see the Buddha, their lives they do not begrudge. Then, accompanied by priests in Grudrakuta, I appear. Thus, I speak then to the crowd, deathless am I, and always here. They are but means, my birth and death. The quotation, as will be explained in the Lifespan chapter, describes the figure of the Gohonzon. Likewise, in this part of the Expedient Means chapter, known as Junyozei, we can find the figure of the Gohonzon. However, no one but Nichiren Daishonin could inscribe the Gohonzon. Tiantai the Great in China pictured the Gohonzon in his heart through his method of speculation called Kanon Kampo. This, however, is extremely difficult. Those who have seen the figure of the Buddha in some past existence can recall to their minds the figure of the Gohonzon gradually through Tiantai's method of speculation. We can know from the Daishonin's writings that Tendai, Miao Lo and other Buddhas were well versed in the teachings of the Gohonzon. Then, you can ask yourselves, why couldn't they inscribe the Gohonzon instead of relying on their ineffective and difficult practice of speculation? This is because, they were not entrusted with the mission of establishing the Gohonzon, because it was not yet the time for inscribing the Gohonzon, because the people of their day had no inborn character of devoting their lives to the Gohonzon, and because those Buddhas Tiantai, Miao Lo, etc., were not qualified to inscribe the Gohonzon. However, today in the latter day of the law, we have the Gohonzon which the true Buddha, Nichiren Dai Shonin, who was qualified in every respect for establishing the Dai Gohonzon, inscribed on Octobcr 12, 1279. Nichiren Dai Shonin denied the necessity of reading Tendai's Maka Shikan or practicing Kanon Kampo for attaining enlightenment. He emphasized only the practice of devoting one's life to the Gohonzon with chanting of Daimoku. In the preceding ages of the former day of the law, and the middle day of the law, those who were related to the Buddha in some past existence, could picture the Gohonzon in their hearts and attain enlightenment. However, in the latter day of the law there is no need for such a roundabout way of practice. Only by chanting the Daimoku to the Gohonzon can one acquire the wisdom of the Gohonzon within him or herself. Through this simple practice, the Gohonzon in one's life shows itself more brilliantly and more powerfully. Another name for the Gohonzon is Elchinen Sun Zen, or the mutual possession 3000 worlds or aspects in the menementary existence of life. Therefore in the silent prayer of the second prayer in morning Gongyo, we pray to the Gohonzon, saying in our hearts, Ji no Ichi Nen Sun Zen, Ninpo Ika. The Junyos of the Expedient Means chapter is a part of the principle of Ichi Nen Sun Zen. The 10 worlds and their mutual possession were earlier expounded, but without the 10 aspects, Junyos, there is no knowing the true aspect, Jiso. Hence the 10 aspects of the Expedient Means chapter. From the viewpoint of the Buddhism of Nichiren Dai Shonin, even these 10 aspects reveal the Gohonzon. The explanation of each of the 10 aspects follows. Nyozi so, the aspect all people have various aspecities as do the Buddhas. The aspect of the eternal Buddha differs from that of the provisional Buddha. The statue of Amida Buddha has a golden face which cannot be true. It is a false image of Buddha. It is useless to believe of such a Buddha. However, the true Buddha who appeared in the time of the latter day of the law is just like an ordinary person. This is the aspect of Nichiren Dai Shonin, and this is the real aspect of the true Buddha. Nyozi Sho, the nature. The Buddha has the mind of the Buddha. Nichiren Dai Shonin has the mind of the eternal Buddha. Nyozi Tai, the entity. The true Buddha appeared as Nichiren Dai Shonin himself. This is the entity of eternal Buddha. This holds true of the Gohonzon. Nyozi Riki, the power. The power of the true Buddha is different from that of the transient Buddha. Nichiren Dai Shonin has made it possible for all Buddhas to attain enlightenment. Nyozi saw, the action where there is power, there is action. Nyozi in, the cause, if there is action, there is a cause. The cause for the advent of Nichiren Dai Shonin in the latter day of the law, we can find in the infinite past called Kuon Ganjo, time without beginning, or infinite past, which is in reality the present. Nyozi En, the relationship. The true Buddha has a close relationship with the people of the latter day of the law. We who live in the latter day of the law have nothing to do with Sakyamuni Buddha. Therefore, we can never become happy through the Buddhism of Sakyamuni. To enlighten those who were not related with Sakyamuni Buddha, the Dai Shonin made his advent in this world in the latter day of the law. Nyozi Ka, the effect, as a result, the Dai Shonin identified himself as the eternal Buddha. Tatsunokuchi, where he escaped the death sentence of the decadent government. By that time, he had undergone all the persecutions prophesied in the Lotus Sutra. Nyozi Ho, the reward. The Dai Shonin was rewarded as the true Buddha, as he spent 9 peaceful and happy years in the forest of Mount Minobu. He enjoyed life as the Thu Buddha. Nyozi Honmak Hukyoto, the consistency from beginning to end, Honmak Kukyoto, is a phonetic change of Honmatsu Kukyoto. The Dai Shonin is consistent as the eternal Buddha, from beginning to end, that is, in the aspect, nature, entity, power, action, cause, relationship, effect and reward, the first 9 of the 10 aspects. Take a thief as an example. He looks like a thief, the aspect, he has the nature of a thief and he steals, the action. Thus he is also consistent from beginning, the aspect, to end, the reared. It is not possible to the aspect of a Buddha, the nature of a thief and the entity of a cat at the same time, for example. Honmatsu Kukioto is complete with the Gohonzon but not with us yet. Therefore, by devoting our lives and chanting to the Gohonzon, we can obtain the power of the Buddha to make our lives those of the Buddha, from beginning the aspect to end the reward. Without the Gohonzon one can only read the superficial meanings of the 10 aspects in this part of the Expedient Means chapter. Next, the question is why we should read the Junyos, 10 aspects, 3 times in Gongyo. LT is so we can attain the 3 phases of life, Ku, Kei and Chu, or Hoshin, Hoshin and Ojin, and the 3 merits of life, Hoshin, Hanya and Gedatsu. Ku, Kei and Chu, Ku, Kei and Chu, are the only way to grasp the truth of life. These 3 are naturally possessed by all things. Ku, is that all things are temporary combination of fundamental elements in the universe. K, is that what all things appear to be as transitory. Chu, or the middle of the road, is that the essential nature of things are unchangeable, though they vary in phenomena. Hoshin, Hanya and Gedatsu, Hoshin, the absolute nature of Buddha. Hanina, wisdom to see the true aspect of life without error or illusion. Gedatsu, freedom from the bond of illusion and suffering from the threefold worlds. A passage from the Gosho, Junyazetji, on the 10 aspects reads, first, Nyozi So, is the aspect of one's physical figure, and it is named either, Ojin Nyorai, Gedatsu or Katai. Secondly, Nyozi Sho, is the nature of one's mind and it is termed either, Hoshin Nyorai, Hanta or Kutai. Thirdly, Nyozi Tai, is one's entity which is called, Hoshin Nyorai, Chudo or Hosho. The 3 phases of life, Ku, Kei and Chu, are called Ku, Kei, Chu, no Santai. The Tai of Santai means to be clear or obvious, and San means 3. To take an obvious view of things in these 3 aspects, Ku, Kei, and Chu, is the only way to grasp the truth of life. These 3 are naturally possessed by all things. K signifies that what all things look like is provisional. Ku means that all things are a temporary combination of fundamental elements in the universe. Chu, or the middle of the road, means that the essential nature of things are unchangeable, though they vary in phenomena. Aside from these complicated theories, to attain Ku, Kei, Chu, no Sante, or the 3 phases of Hoshin, Hoshin, and Ojin, are means to attain Buddhahood or enlightenment. In the teachings of Nichiren Dai Shonin, the only object of devotion is the Dai Gohonzon inscribed on October 12, 1279.